Hi, I'm Jen,
Hi, I'm Brooke.
and we're going to continue on with the Chum Kiu. We're going to add a little bit more, and we're going to continue on with this whole until we finish the entire form. All right, so let's go back to, and Brooke is just learning this again right along with you guys. She just learned it like a half hour ago, so she's following. She's learning it right along with you guys, and I thought that was this would be an interesting way to not only teach these guys, but also to teach you at the same time. That way, actually, so I don't have to keep repeating myself, which Brooke knows I do not like to do. All right. So, anyways, all right. So we're going to start basically the same way, right? Okay. Adjust your stance, adjust your feet, get comfortable, right? Get your hips. Everything that you learned in your first form, you have to remember this, and that's why it's so important to really ingrain that first form into you. Okay, so even though we're doing the second form, it's so vital that you continue to do the first form to keep improving your facing structure. Okay, because without the facing structure, then you really have without the structure, you're going to have your shifting is going to be pointless. It's going to be useless because there's no power behind it. All right. So from here, once you set everything, right, and same thing, now we're going to start. And it basically starts the same way. Left over right, down, up, draw the center line, pull, okay? Starting with the left, punch, inside, right? Up, okay. Now this form, each time we do it, we're going to keep making a little bit of adjustments, or keep refining. It's not always going to look the same as we continue to go on, because I want you to focus there's different things that you can focus on each time you practice. Okay, but this one in particular, all right, so again, we're going to start. All right, so when you punch, and you finish the first punch, now when this hand's coming back to the hip, this one I want to come out at the same, meet it halfway, and then punch. Okay, so a little bit different than the first form. Okay, and then finish. So a little bit of refinement to the form. Okay, detail. Right. Then from here, you're going to push like you're pushing someone out, and then lift the. I don't know what they call this. This is I call it the ridge hand, right? Double ridge hand almost, right? And then left over right. Okay. Now from here, remember the shifting your weight to get the pressure off your right leg, and then turn that foot in. And when you turn that foot in, that's going to kick this leg out. Okay? So that I'm facing now to my left, and I'm in a left foot forward fighting stance. So you see Brooke, in the side view, her left foot is in front. You don't have to move, it's okay. But you see her left foot in front. Okay? If I'm in the same stance that she's in, but you're seeing me from straight on. So you see me with my left foot in front, okay? And you see me in a football stance. I'm not surfing. This is a surfing stance, right? Surfing, or skateboarding, or snowboarding, right? Snowboarding season, right? I'm in a football stance, okay? This is the same stance that Brooke is in, okay? So now, from here, we're going to shift again, okay? So I'm going to bring my right foot over, and I'm going to kick the weight of my other leg, my right leg out. Okay, so now we're in a right foot forward fighting stance. We call it right foot forward fighting stance. Okay? Making sure that low ceiling, we're going to do it one more time. All right? And on the third time now, we're going to face to the left, and we're going to fan our hands out. Got it? Then you're going to turn the palms up. Take the right hand, bring it over towards your bicep, and you're going to take your left hand and lift it slightly upwards. Make sure you still have a bend. Okay? Your 70-degree angle, right? Then switch the hands. Now your right hand is 70-degree angle. And then one more time, 70-degree angle. Okay? Then from here, I'm going to turn my wrist, and then I'm going to take my right hand, climb up this arm, climb and palm strike. Now my left hand is climbing. Then my right hand is going to climb, and when it climbs, this time my hand is going to my hip. Okay? Now from here, I'm going to bring my weight back a little bit. I'm going to just freeze up my left leg, and I'm going to kick, so I'm completely facing to my right, in a right foot forward fighting stance. Make sure you're not surfing. Okay? You want to be in a fighting stance. How do we know this is a fighting stance? I should be able to take my foot. Stay there, bro. Okay? Come around the other side. Yeah, right here. I should be able to take my foot. Okay, face me, bro. I should be able to take my foot and slide it right between both feet without touching her feet. Okay? If I can do this, that means her feet are wide enough. If she's too narrow, I'm not going to be able to slide my feet in without hitting her. Okay? So this is surfing. So we don't want a surfing stance. We want a football stance. Football. Right? Okay? So back to the front. Now from here, right? We're in a lan sao. That means our the pinky side, the wrist, is forward. Okay? Without pushing. Right? Bent. I create a shield in front of me. My hands to my hip. Okay? Now from here, we're going to do what's called a side neutral stance. So from here, I'm going to open my hand, I'm going to put it on my palm up, and I'm going to put it on my forearm. Right? Now from here, I'm going to get to a side neutral stance. So from here, I'm going to shift my weight to my back leg. I'm going to turn my right foot in on the same plane, the same level as my other leg. See my heel come into place? And then I shift. I'm in a neutral, side neutral stance. Side neutral stance means that my heels are on the same plane, same line. Right, you see that? Okay, I don't want to be like this or like this. They're on the same line. Okay? Right now they're both facing to the left. Okay? My hips and my shoulders follow my feet. My hand, bong sao, straight ahead. Okay? My bong sao does not follow the angle of my feet. It goes straight. My wu sao hand should be up, halfway between your chest and your wrist. Okay? Then I'm going to bring this foot in, right? And I'm going to go back to lan sao, right? So you're noticing that there's two types of footwork. There's a one foot in front, a fighting stance, right? And then there's the side neutral stance, where the feet are on the same plane. Okay? Right now we're in the fighting stance. Okay? We're going to do this 2 more times. Open the hand, put it on the palm, right? I'm going to shift, same plane, bong sao, wu sao hand comes up. Okay? Then I'm going to shift back to fighting stance into a lan sao position. Okay? One more time, open the hand, right? Step. You notice my head doesn't bounce, don't go up. Right? Everything is done, see? Everything is done on the heels. Right? Got it? So side neutral stance one more time. Bong sao. Right? Hand up, wu sao hand up. Okay? And then I'm going to go back to lan sao position in a right foot forward fighting stance. Okay? So after you've done that 3 times, then the hand, the left hand is going to go onto the forearm. Now I'm going to straight punch. I'm going to chun choi straight and pull the other hand to the hip. Okay? Now from here, I'm going to open the hand, step, right, into a neutral stance. Now I'm facing this is a selim tao stance, right? I'm facing straight. Okay? I bring my hand in, I look to my left, and then I'm going to bring my hand out. Make sure you're not completely locking out your hand, your arm, right? This is dangerous for your elbow, right? Okay, so we lower the shoulder and we bend the elbow a little bit. Okay? We also see this in the first form when you do this, double lan sao, right? Same thing. I don't want to be completely out. You see my weight come up. This is no good, right? I want to be level, a little bend in the shoulder, right? Okay? Then from here, I'm going to bring my hand back to center and my elbow back to center. Right? Then I open the right hand, follow the arm, the bend of the arm, and I palm strike to the other side of my face, right? Or to the same angle as my jawline. Okay? Then hin sao, hold. Okay? Now all we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to go to the other side. Okay? So from here, both hands out, come back up. Okay? Now this time my right arm goes on top of my left arm. Make sure they don't touch. A little bit of space. My shoulders are not up, they're down. Heavy. Heavy. Okay, my knees relax. Okay. Now we're going to do the same the shifting again, but we're going to start to the right. Okay, so from here, shift my weight. All right, I'm going to turn my foot. All right, kick my foot out. That's one. Then I'm going to go back to the other side. That's two. Then one more time. Make sure you're in a football stance. Three. Right. Now I fan my hands out. So we're just doing the same thing, but the opposite. Right. Turn the palms. Right. Take the left hand. Check, and the right hand comes up. Just a little bit. Right. Make sure this is an angle, not straight. Bend. Right. Then switch. Do the other side. Then one more time. So you do this a total of 3 times. Then turn the wrist. Now I climb up my arm. Palm strike. Climb up the arm. Palm strike. One more time, climb the arm, palm strike, and pull the hand to the hip. Right? Right? Did we do that? Yeah, okay. Then from here, I'm going to lan sao, all the way to the other side. Okay? Now I'm going to take my hand, my right hand, I'm going to put it on my forearm. Okay? Now I'm going to do the side neutral stance. So from here, I'm going to side neutral stance, face the front though. Even though my feet are at an angle, my hips are at an angle, my shoulders are at all the same angle, my head and my bong sao straight ahead. Okay? My hand comes to wu sao position. Cover the center. Right? Okay? So now we are in a right side neutral stance. Right side, is it right? Neutral, right neutral stance. We'll call it right neutral stance. Okay? Now from here, I go back to lan sao, pull the hand to the hip. Make sure you push that wrist forward, create a wall here. Right? Then I take my hand, put it on top of the forearm again. Right? I'm going to side neutral stance to the right, bong sao. My wu sao hand comes up. Make sure you don't pop the shoulder up. Make sure you don't bounce up. Right? Then one more time, lan sao. Hand to the forearm, one more time, bong sao. Side neutral stance, then come back, lan sao. Put the right hand on the forearm. I'm going to punch straight with my elbow in, punch straight, and bring the other hand back to my hip. Okay? Now I'm going to come back to neutral stance to the front. Right? I'm going to open my hand, bring my elbow across my body. I'm ready to do lan sao now. Okay? Yeah, lan sao. So from here, right, I look to my right. First, look to the right, the direction you're going. I'm going to go out and seek a bridge. Seek a bridge. Make sure you're not completely locked out. Make sure your shoulder's not up. Little bend, right? Then from here, I'm going to come back to center. Okay? And I'm going to come I'm going to climb up the arm. Strike the palm strike to the opposite side, the same side as my jawline. Right? I'm going to bring the other hand back. Right? Then I'm going to finish with the hin sao. Okay? And we're going to stop to there. So it's a lot of little detail, and we're going to keep improving the form, keep practicing the form, keep expanding the form. And there may be little changes along the way. Like today, we learned to after you punch, to bring the other hand right away on top of the other hand. So this teaches you to chain punch, which is very important, right? So practice up to that. Now, you saw today, Brooks, did I go soon?
It's okay.
You saw 2 types of shifting, right? One you saw from here where we shift and go to fighting stance, a football stance, right? So from here, right, we're here, and then I shift, I come to a fighting stance. Okay? The other one was where I'm here, right, and I shift, but I come to a neutral stance. So from here, a neutral stance. So the feet are on the same plane, right? One foot is not in front of the other, all right? So they're both even. So these are 2 types of footwork and shifting that's done in this form up to this point. And it's important to recognize the difference between the two. Okay. Primarily, when we're doing the form and you go to a fighting stance, okay, where you shift, okay, and I come to a fighting stance, or I shift and I go to a fighting stance, right? This is where you're seeking a bridge, okay? You're seeking a bridge, okay? That means I don't have contact of anyone, no, okay? I see Brooke's hands up, right? She's my opponent. I see her at the corner of my eye, right? So I have to turn to face her. Why? This is a facing art. Okay, we don't do anything sideways like this. Okay, I have to face her. I have to face her immediately, and I have to get to my football stance. All right. So this is why this is important. Okay. At the same time I do this, I want my arm to seek a bridge. So I shift. I seek a bridge. I'm looking for any kind of contact, right? On her arm or on her body, whatever, on her, right? So when you're turning, I'm seeking a bridge. Okay? I'm seeking a bridge. I'm here, I see her, okay? I see her coming, oh, I shift, I come out. That's how come we look first. I see her. Okay? That's how come when we do it in the form, right? We look first, then shoot the lance out. Okay? So I'm here, I see her coming, oh, my hand comes up, I face her in football stance, right? And I seek a bridge. Okay? So that's really good. You should practice that, okay? And we're going to practice, we're going to work on drills to develop that. But right now, really what I want you guys to focus on is the side neutral stance. This one, shifting this way, all right? And this is the reason is why when you do this type of stance, you're in contact. Not all the time, but primarily means I have already touched. I have contact of you, of your arm, okay, or your body. So now, okay. So if Brooke is here, okay, and she comes into a bounce out, right? So now I showed you this last video where I put pressure. Now, Brooke you can't really feel it. You can't feel it. You can see it, but you can't feel it when I'm doing a Brooke. If I go like this and I give her very little pressure, she feels very little pressure, right? Okay. Then that means I have no structure. I'm just lifting my arm and putting it on her arm. That means I don't have my body structure here in my hands. So if I just light touch her, then Brooke knows she feels like there's nothing here, right? So she's just going to lops out. She's going to drop her elbow and pull, see? And she's going to punch me in her hand because there's nothing. It's like air, right? You feel nothing. Okay? If I give her now my hip and then she feels I wet towel around her arm and I start to Indiana Jones this gap and I start to give her a little bit of pressure, now she doesn't feel safe. She feels like I'm listening to her here, right? Okay, she feels that, see it? Right here. Okay? Right here, you have to pay attention, right? If you try to shift, when you feel this, right? See, I'm now moving. See, she shifts, right? But then I can go in. Because I'm not, what she's doing up here is not affecting my body. You see her shift, but you don't see me moving. Okay? That means she's in trouble. Right? So you have to understand when to shift, and that's the real lesson for today. When do you shift? If there's no pressure, then just go straight. There's no. She can drop her arm. She can pock. Yeah, she slam it. Just pock this arm. Bam! Get it off you. There's no structure. I'm too loose. Right? It means just crash. Go in. If she feels my body and she feels like I'm wet toweled her arm, this is not safe to shift either. Right? Okay. But if from here at this point now, I'm going to be a good partner. And I'm going to give her a little bit, I'm going to give her more, gradually, more and more and more. You see me pushing into my body. Now she has to shift. Now you see me moving. okay? And I'm losing my balance because she's shifting me off. It's like taking the big yoga ball and I push straight. But if you rotate the ball as I'm pushing pressure, right, I'm going to slip off. Okay? This is the same thing, right? So now this is when you should shift on your heels, okay? But the first thing you do is what? You have to meet my pressure with your body structure. That's how come Sealant Tao is so important, your first form. You have to develop that. You can't just shift. You have to first be able to solve the problem with your body structure. See, now she's done it. Now I give her more pressure. Now she shifts me off. Okay? That's when she shifts. Okay? So you want to practice like that. Have one partner push, okay, so that you know when to shift and when not to shift. Right? No, you're doing great. Okay, now, when you do this, you put it into your Qi Sao. Now we go into Dan Qi. Right? I'm sorry. Okay? Now here. See now, this replaces when I'm doing here. The same feeling. If I go like this, and she feels nothing, she doesn't feel anything. It's like I just touch. Okay? But she doesn't feel my body, she doesn't feel anything. Then just go in, yeah. Just go in, step in, crash, boom, right? Okay, or Pak Sao, get inside Pak Sao, get that arm off you, go in, yeah. There's nothing to stop her. Okay? But if she feels my elbow structure, and she feels, now look at my hip, okay? Now she feels this, you see my elbows attacking her now? My body's going in, okay? But I'm not committed, but now you feel it. She feels it now. Now I've wet toweled her arm. Right? Now she doesn't feel safe. She feels like I'm paying attention to her. And she should be doing the same, paying attention to me. Right? So if she gives me too much, then that's the same, I can do exactly what she's doing to me, which is shift, right? Or adjust. So now from here, when I've wet toweled her, she feels my body, now she's going to come into to palm strike. And I jumps out, right? Now from here, I punch. When I punch, she goes to Bong Sao. Now this is just like this. Okay? So I'm here, I attack her with my structure of my elbow, see? Now, right here, I want to give her my body, I want to solve the pressure she's giving me with my body. Okay? She's doing the same thing to my pressure. She's solving it with her facing structure. Right? Now, from here, I'm going to be a good partner. I'm going to give her a little bit more gradually. I give her more body and more elbow and push more. Now that tells her to shift. See, and I lose my balance. Okay? And then once I do that, then I recover. Then we come back to starting point. So practice with your partner. Right? She push. I jump. I push. Now I give her more, and she shifts. And I actually lose my balance. Okay? That's why the shifting then, it's good because she's maintaining her facing structure. Okay? She's not retreating the hips, right? Another thing is when you Bong Sao is so simple, but it doesn't mean it's easy, right? And a lot of people have problems with Bong Sao because it's so away from the elbow is so away from your center, right? So you have to learn, how do you get support with the arm? Well, the first thing is when you go Bong Sao, okay, and I'm here, and I give her more pressure. One is she cannot try to, when I push, she cannot try to lift her Bong Sao up. She's exaggerating, but okay, if I give you more pressure, she comes up. See her arm coming up? Yeah, now her shoulder is activated. But see this angle from her shoulder to her elbow? Its angle is up. Or even, it's not level, it's up. Then when I push it, it's going to keep going up. She can't fight me, right? But if she Bong Saos, okay, from here, and she keeps this shoulder down and this elbow down, okay, square, and goes straight. She goes straight. But her body skis under. That lifts her arm, her pressure upwards at the same time without raising her arm. So her body is there. So if I push now, she's like a wall. She's like a wall. Now she keeps pushing forward and she keeps using her body. See, now she feels like a wall to me. Okay, now she's going to shift. Yeah, now I come off center. Okay, so this is important. The third thing is, come here. Tanya's filming today. See this right here? Obviously, right here to here, from her shoulder to her elbow, you see her arm, her muscle, right? Her bicep and tricep, and her bone right here, right? So if she holds that up and she locks it, okay, so where it's square, this part, okay, then if I push into her elbow and she gives me her structure back, see, she creates a wall here, right? Obviously, because I'm pushing into that bone, right? So it's a wall. But on the other side, her wrist to this shoulder, there's nothing. There's nothing here. This is where the stretching out is very important. That's how come we always do hyunsao and wrist action, a lot of stretching in our form, right? It's to strengthen our wrist. The stretch, okay? This side, there's nothing, okay, to support that wrist, this side. But you have to pretend like there's something here. And how do you do that? You stretch this wrist and these fingers go forward, straight, right? Without pushing your arm, okay? So from here, when she bongsaos and I give her pressure, this side has to, her wrist right here and her fingertips, everything has to stretch towards my center. That's going to do what? It's going to keep her shoulder down. It's going to create this imaginary pole right here to keep her space. So if I try to push into that space, see, it's become solid. She's doing what? What does this do? It activates what? Her lats, her big muscles, her back, when she stretches like that. You feel it? Okay? The problem is that people try to use too much muscle and they try to overdo the stretch. Then the hand goes, now she's physically trying to muscle me here because her arm is coming, pushing out at the wrist. So now if she does that, then all I do is just push her wrist down. She pushes in, I just push down. And I punch with your hands. So you don't want me to control your body through your arm. That's a no-no, right? So that means you have to stretch, but you have to be you have to be aware enough where if I give you a lot of pressure, you stretch to take care of the problem. But if I back off, you have to relax. Then if I go back on, see, you have to. Now if I give you too much, then you shift. That's it. Yeah, you got it. Gold star. Gold star, brokey. Okay, so everybody got it? It's a long lesson, and we got a lot to cover. Second form, Chum Kiu. Chum Kiu. What does it mean?
Seeking a bridge.
Seeking a bridge, right? It means seeking a bridge, but really the form is teaching you how to shift, and how to turn and face. How to turn. If you're my opponent, then I turn face without popping up. Right? And at the same time, my arms come up, seek a bridge, seek a bridge, seek a bridge, seek a bridge. Right? That's it. Right? It's not a complicated form, but again, there's a lot of detail. And I hope you guys understand now why I waited. I waited a long time before I show you this. We start on the second form. Why? Because you need to understand all of this. Gunslinger and hip and structure and facing. Without it, then you just start shifting, but you have no sense of structure and body awareness. You shift, but there's nothing here. There's no power. You're just going to get knocked off your feet. Right? You'll get away with it in class. Why? Because people are being nice. They're not going to try to hurt you in class, in your Wing Chun schools. Right? They're not going to try to take advantage of you when, they're trying to be nice. But when you go to spar, you spar other people who are with safety gear and equipment, right? They're not going to stop. They're going to keep pressuring you, okay? And that's when you start to see all the weaknesses in your structure, because you're not going to be able to hold them back because the structure isn't here, right? So it's really important that you do these pressure drills to test your structure, your facing structure, okay? And that'll teach you. Your structure will teach you when to shift. Right? It's not you guessing, or it's not you trying to shift just for the sake of shifting. right? That's pointless. You should never shift if you don't have to. You face. This is a facing art. A lot of people will not agree with me, but this is the way I was taught, and this is the way I do it, and it works for me. I face my opponent. I don't ever want to shift unless I really have to. It means I can't hold you. I can't hold you, then I shift. Right? I shift. And if you really think about it, okay, can you see my feet? Right? Shifting like this, to the left or to the right, it's really what? A shortcut for triangle footwork. You understand? It's a shortcut. That means Brooke's giving me, so you can see, right? She's giving me so much pressure, I can't hold her, right? So normally I want to do what? When she gives me pressure, I want to do what? I want a triangle step to handle the pressure. So why? Because I can still face her. But she's giving me so many, she's so strong, right, that I can't have, as soon as I try, she's going to just bulldoze me. I can feel I'm going to lose that battle. So what do? I take a shortcut. Instead of doing this, right, and sliding it in, right, to triangle forward, she gives me pressure, I shift. That means it's a faster triangle. It's just quick, right? That means I have to do it that way because I can't lift my foot to get to triangle step in because she's giving me so many problems. So shifting is in my opinion, it's an emergency movement when you can't handle the person's pressure, so you're forced to do it. You're forced to shift. Your structure says, I can't hold it, turn a little bit, get them off me, get the pressure off. Then I can maybe triangle step or even shift and go in. Okay? But it's basically just a shortcut. This is a shortcut to this. Okay? So that's the way I look at that side neutral stance and the shifting. Okay? I don't rely on it, but I practice it in case I have to use it. Right? And again, Chi Sao is a great way to practice that. Okay? Putting yourself in a bad position. When I grapple, I do that all the time. Sometimes people come in, they're new, or they're not as experienced as you are, right? Then what do? When I'm grappling, what do? I take them and I start in a bad position. I put them in the mount, or I put myself at the bottom, right? Where I put them in, I go into their guard, right? I put myself in a bad position so that they can practice their offense. And it forces me to do what? How to get out of the bad position to a better position. This is exactly the same thing. Shifting is like that. Okay? It's that same kind of mindset. All right? How do I get out of a bad position and make it a good position? Right? And that's what shifting, for me, that's what the practice is. Okay? So practice. I know this is a lot. I know Brooke's in a hurry. She's got to go. Okay? I'm holding your hair. I'm holding her hostage just for you guys. So she's helping you guys. Remember that. Okay? So thank you very much, and we'll see you guys next week.